read 8 books in the month of August. We're going to rapid fire through these and I'm going to tell you what I thought of each of them. The month started out really strong. I read the book Shield of Sparrows. This was the pick for my virtual book club and I loved it. This book was so good. Very dark and moody, just had the perfect vibes. I loved everything about this, the romance, the monsters. It was written so well, such a great read, and I cannot wait for the next book in the series. The next book I read in August was The Love Hypothesis. This is one of those books that I can't believe how long it took me to finally get around to it, but I knew the movie was coming out soon, so I had to read it. Now, I did enjoy the story, but I didn't seem to absolutely love it as much as everyone else did. I was still entertained, I thought it was cute, and I'll definitely watch the movie when it comes out. Next, I read The True Love Experiment. This was a really fun read that I enjoyed. I didn't realize until partway into it that I was reading a second book in a series. I know this was interconnected standalone, but I should have read The Soulmate Equation first, and I still haven't read it, but regardless, I did really enjoy reading this one. Next, I read the book Never Lie. I had pretty high expectations for this book. I've heard so many people say that this is one of Frida's best books, but for some reason, it fell a little flat for me. It was fine, it was entertaining, but I thought it was just okay. I've read other of Frida's books that I liked more. Overall, I enjoyed reading it. I didn't see some of the twists coming, but I think this might be another case of I had this built up too much in my head, so it didn't quite reach my expectations. The next book I read is A Kiss from Death. This is a romantasy book that I read as an ARC, but it's out now. This was a really fun read. It had trials and games. It had romance. I enjoyed the storyline, and I can't wait for the next book because I need to know what happens next. And then I read another thriller book, The Block Party. I really wanted to get to this book this summer because it had been sitting on my shelf since last summer. So I'm so glad I finally read it. Now, this is one of those books where the beginning is very slow and you're just getting backstory and story and story. And you're when is something going to happen? But when it hits the last part of the book, it was twist after twist after twist, and I didn't see any of it coming. So I'd say it's definitely worth a read, but just know the beginning's very slow. Then I read the book The Measure. This book hooked me so fast from the very beginning. It has such an interesting premise. The whole book was very thought-provoking. Now, it is a slower paced book, but I really enjoyed reading this one and it gave me a lot to think about. And the last book I read this month is Bridesmaid for Hire. Not surprisingly, with this being a Megan Quinn book, this book was so funny. Has so many things I love in a romance book. There was fake dating, brother's best friend, the one bed trope. I really had a fun time reading this one. So those are all the books I read in August. Let me know if you read any of these and what you thought of them.